The day the lights went out, a stark reminder from history. Imagine a world without electricity. No humming refrigerators, no glowing screens, no streetlights cutting through the night. It's not some dystopian fantasy, it's a reality that's already played out before. In 1859, the Carrington Event, the largest solar storm ever recorded, plunged the world into darkness. Telegraph systems, the cutting-edge technology of the time, went haywire, sparking fires and delivering electric shocks to operators. Then, in 1989, a solar storm, though less powerful than the Carrington Event, crippled Quebec's power grid. Millions were left in the dark and the cold for hours. These events serve as stark reminders of the sun's power and the vulnerability of our technology-dependent world. These were mere glimpses of the sun's fury. A similar event today in our hyper-connected world could have far more devastating consequences. We rely on electricity for everything: communication, transportation, healthcare, even our food supply. A global blackout is not just an inconvenience, it's a potential catastrophe. But panic won't help. Knowledge and preparation will. By understanding the risks and taking simple, practical steps, we can mitigate the impact of a solar storm and ensure our survival. The sun's fury, understanding the science behind solar storms. The sun, our life-giving star, can also be a source of immense destruction. Solar storms like the Carrington Event are powerful bursts of energy from the sun. These storms hurl a barrage of charged particles towards Earth at incredible speeds. When these particles collide with Earth's magnetic field, they trigger geomagnetic storms. These storms can disrupt or even cripple our technological infrastructure, particularly our power grids. Imagine a nationwide blackout, not for hours, but for days, weeks, or even months. That's the potential reality of a major solar storm in 2025. Ground Zero, immediate impacts of a 2025 solar storm. In the immediate aftermath of a massive solar storm, our world would be thrown into disarray. Satellites, our eyes in the sky, would be the first casualties. Communication systems, reliant on these satellites, would fail, plunging the world into an information blackout. GPS navigation, internet connectivity, and even radio transmissions could be severely disrupted or completely knocked out. The most immediate and widespread impact would be the collapse of power grids on a global scale. The surge of energy from the solar storm would overwhelm transformers and power lines, causing widespread blackouts. Imagine entire cities plunged into darkness, traffic lights going dark, and essential services grinding to a halt. 72 hours of chaos, navigating the darkness. The first 72 hours after a global blackout would be the most critical. Panic would spread as people realized the severity of the situation. Supermarkets would be overrun as people desperately try to stock up on essential supplies. Gas stations would be overwhelmed with long lines of cars, their tanks running dry. Hospitals, running on backup generators, would be overwhelmed with patients. Emergency services, struggling to operate without communication networks, would be stretched thin. Crime rates would likely surge as darkness provides cover for opportunistic criminals. The rule of law, already strained, would be tested like never before. Your survival blueprint, essential steps for riding out the storm. Survival in this scenario requires preparation and a level head. First and foremost, you need a plan. This means having a blackout kit ready to go, stocked with enough food, water, and essential supplies to last your family for at least 2 weeks. Water is crucial. Store at least 1 gallon of water per person per day. Food should be non-perishable and require minimal cooking. A hand-crank weather radio will become your lifeline to the outside world. Don't forget a first aid kit, essential medications, and sanitation supplies. When the well runs dry, long-term challenges and solutions. As days turn into weeks, the challenges of a global blackout will only intensify. With no power to run water treatment plants, access to clean water will dwindle. Food shortages will become a real threat, leading to malnutrition and disease. Sanitation systems will fail, increasing the risk of outbreaks. Medical care will be limited, and many chronic illnesses will be difficult to manage. The social fabric of society will be tested as people become desperate for basic necessities. This is where community becomes crucial. Sharing resources, knowledge, and skills will be vital to our collective survival. We'll need to rely on each other more than ever before. Rebuilding from the ashes, economic recovery, and global cooperation. The economic fallout of a global blackout would be catastrophic. Global trade would grind to a halt. Financial markets would plunge into chaos. The cost of rebuilding our damaged infrastructure would be astronomical. Recovery will require global cooperation on an unprecedented scale. Countries will need to share resources and expertise to rebuild the power grid, restore communication networks, and restart the global economy. This event, as devastating as it would be, could also be an opportunity for a global reset. We could use this crisis to transition to more sustainable and resilient energy sources, reduce our reliance on technology, and build a more equitable and just world. The human spirit, resilience, and adaptation in the face of adversity. Throughout history, humans have faced countless challenges, from natural disasters to pandemics to wars. And each time we have emerged, battered but not broken, adapting and innovating to overcome adversity. A global blackout would be no different. It would test our limits, both individually and collectively. But it would also reveal the best of humanity, our resilience, our ingenuity, our capacity for compassion and cooperation. We would come together, support each other, and rebuild our world. Be prepared, not scared, your call to action. The threat of a solar storm is real, but it's not a reason to panic. It's a call to action. By understanding the risks and taking practical steps to prepare, we can mitigate the impact and ensure our survival. Start by building your blackout kit, learning basic survival skills, and connecting with your community. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it could be the difference between life and death. The future may seem uncertain, but one thing is for sure: the human spirit is indomitable. By facing this challenge head-on, we can not only survive but thrive, building a more resilient and sustainable future for generations to come.